Hey, Toastman here. I have another update for you. I have released version 1.0.2, and as you can see, we have a new random mode, and in addition, there is another mode called Blessed, and it's kind of cool. It's actually a lot more difficult to actually beat if you don't have enough hearts and you get one of the more difficult levels, like the four that I've added. They seem to all be very complicated. Then yeah, it can be a real nightmare. So I spent most of the day trying to debug a problem that I thought had to do with a memory leak, and it turns out that it was my mouse. When I was using the death string, all of a sudden, sometimes I would kind of like fly out of the scene, at least the death string and stuff, and apparently the mouse was doing quirky things, and all of a sudden, like, I had all these issues, like, oh no, do I have this huge bug with my code? So I was trying to see if I have had a memory leak and whatnot, but it turns out that it's actually just fine. So this is one of my new levels. This is one I actually created today, and it's a bit of a nightmare. As you can see, there's a lot of obstacles in your way, so you really have to be more strategic and where you throw your string. And obviously, if you get this really early, then this can be a real chore, just trying to get the enemies and still have enough life left to be able to keep going. So had a lot of fun to developing this. The design of the actual level worked out really great. The only again, I wanted something that was close quarters combat. I think I got a little more than I was bargaining for, but you know, so far so good. I'll keep testing it. Make some tweaks. It might be just a little too tight, a little too difficult, but pretty decent level all in all. I'm yeah, happy with the results. I'm actually happy with all four of the levels that I've put together so far. Version 1.0.2 actually has two new releases, so that's kind of a cool thing. Each day that I've done a release, I've had at least one level. So we're up to 15 total. I really think that in order to have a decent version of this, we need to have at least 25. I think that would be a good solid number. But as I'm finding more and more, it's like you can only do so much with what you have. And at this point, it's kind of obvious I need some more enemies. I need some more items to pick up and whatnot. If not, then it's going to get very repetitive and very boring. Obviously, with level design, you can do quite a bit, but some of the ideas I have in mind, it would be great if you had more than one exit out of the level, and that one exit can take you to one board, the other to another board, and so you can have alternate paths. That seems like that would be something that's kind of an obvious thing that's lacking. Also walls that you can destroy, perhaps even tiles that you walk over, that if you walk over them one too many times, they collapse. It's either sending you to your death or going to a different level. And also, just like in any RPG, if you had different variations of the same enemy, like you have, a lower level version of the enemy, that's one shade, and they're just kind of like a practice type of monster. And then you have something that's like, for instance, if you take these. They're called zombies, but they're the pink monsters. All they do is just follow you around and try to hit you. Well, what if they could do like a mini burst charge, or what if they could chase you faster or something like that? So those are some things that would be really good. And obviously, the third form would be this green one. They're called Rangers, and they could also be tweaked quite a bit. Same thing with they're called bulls. It looks like a Pac-Man ghost. You could do quite a bit with. He's basically just a charge type of thing. But if we made if we change the dynamics a little bit on him, if we had, like, say, the blue one would freeze you in place, and a red one would explode, and perhaps even take out some of the level. That would be really cool stuff. I would love to see that. So those are a few of the ideas that I have in mind for enhancing some of the items. And then some of the pick-me-ups. Obviously, you have a heart that will give you 1 unit of life. Uh, we have a larger heart that gives you an additional heart on your life bar. We don't have anything that gives you a full life, that just completely restore you. Also, one of the things that will eventually have to change, at least when I add a more difficult modes, is when you go between levels, it fully charges your life. And realistically, that's, I probably shouldn't be doing that. Like, for a casual game, sure, that's great. And so for a casual setting, but if you want like a real challenge, then there has to be some more strategic use of the hearts, and not make it so easy between levels to hang on to all your health. So this was a good, certainly a good game jam game. It's certainly something that everyone can play and beat. I think that was the initial goal was to not make something that was so challenging that people would just grow to hate it, but something that they could someone could beat in 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay, and they would feel some sense of accomplishment. Obviously, we've been adding levels now. We now have 15 up from 11, and the length of the game is growing. Here's another one that I created. This is a much larger playfield, and this was one where, for the longest time I was thinking that I had a problem with my with the memory leak on this, because sometimes he would the Nei would go wandering off, and all of a sudden, like, I would like go off. It would like go off screen and stuff. I didn't realize that was actually, it was the mouse that was firing, and it was doing strange stuff. The program was trying to interpret where I was trying to go, and for some reason it was actually allowing me to go off screen. For the longest time I thought, oh no, I have like something like seriously wrong with my game, and apparently that wasn't the case. I was so relieved to find out that it was that it was actually something that I was doing wrong, not like something like maybe that was kind of glossed over, like, oh, okay, there's a reason why this was, a made open source, it's like, oh, something's like not quite right with the some of the code, and it just doesn't do a good job of managing resources. But no, it seems to be fine. I went into the various debug features, and just tracked how many nodes that were being created, whether or not they were actually being destroyed correctly, and the memory usage. It sat like, if you according to what I was looking at, it was running at about 62 to 65 megs, even when like the screen was really full, especially at the boss at the end, which we're at right now. But nothing too like extraordinary. We're not talking like hundreds of megs of RAM. 60 is good, considering most people have at a minimum 8 gigabytes of RAM, and of course more video memory. Sometimes even more video memory than main memory. But yeah, 60 megabytes, to run as a footprint to run in is pretty decent. That shouldn't give a heck of a lot of problems. So one of the things with having less total number of hearts is that this end stage here is a lot more. Maybe not a lot more challenging. It's a little bit more challenging. I just suck at this, but right now I have it set as you can have up to 8 hearts. As you can see here, I die right as I get to the end of this, and it's like, no. But that was one of the tweaks that I made, putting a red filter over top of the camera, and doing a little bit, like, just a few more tweaks with the stats. We're going to do a lot more with stats because the timer at the top was specifically done so we could do some speed runs, and I really want to be able to have people be able to screenshot what they're doing and take a screenshot. See, I died again. A screenshot of all of their accomplishments. So number of deaths, hopefully 0. The number of enemies killed, that will always be a set amount, because you have to defeat every single one in order to win. Number of times that they've beaten it, and a variety of other stats, including the number of hearts that were picked up. I'm sure that if we once this really gets going and people really want to speed run this, we're going to see people who defeat the entire game without picking up a single unit of health. And so I need to get better stats for this, but at least with the timer and with other things that are in place, that you can get an idea. See, there we go. I died again. You can at least have some basic stats to brag about with the game. And again, I'm going to revisit some of the controls with the death string, see if I might be able to tighten it up a little bit. It seems like it can be a little floaty when you throw it out there. It can kind of wander around. It can be hard to reel in also at times. So some tightening controls might be good. But first, I think that we need to get a few more elements onto the board, a few new enemies, and definitely more levels. I think 15 is a good start. We could really use another 10 more. And before I do this challenge where I do multiple new levels in a single day, I definitely want to have.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Definitely want to have more tools at my disposal. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all again later. Thank you.